Howdy guys, so I shoot a few different things, but I'm mainly known for spicy photography, portrait photography, cosplay photography and product photography. Spicy I'm probably never going to discuss on this YouTube channel, not really what it's for. People who book me for that, they have their ways of contacting me. This video I'm going to be discussing cosplay photography. Cosplay photography is really fun, really creative. You can go a couple of directions with it. You can either go very fantasy and very composite where you're editing someone to a scene, or you can go a little bit more natural but still trying to get into the nitty gritty of what someone's cosplaying and making a location shoot work for them. So here in the UK I attend quite a few conventions. So Comic Con, so MCM is the big one. So I do London Comic Con, I do Birmingham Comic Con, then there is Secret Con, which is only for cosplayers and photographers. Probably my favourite con that I go to at the moment, just saying. Really well organised, great location choices. I don't think I ever had a bad photo from them. Then you've got LFCC, which is London Film and Comic Con, which is at the same place that MCM Comic Con is, but it's different. Then you've basically got loads. There's a plethora of them. So in this video I thought I would discuss how cosplay photography happens at a con in the UK, because it's slightly different to the US. How to approach photographers, how photographers can approach you, and yeah, go from there. So one of the big things that I'm asked all the time, I'm sent DMs, feel free to check out my Instagram, is how do we shoot with you? I personally don't take bookings. I don't like the stress of being booked out at a con. I, on average, will do 20 to 25 shoots per day at a con. And if I have to compress all of that into set rigorous times, it's not fun for me. I don't have a good experience. The models and cosplayers I'm working with don't necessarily get a good experience. It's not how I like to work. So what I will do is I say to people, if you see me, will tap me on the shoulder, come grab me, say hey, I want to shoot with you, and as soon as I finish the shoot I'm doing, I'll then shoot straight with you. DM me on the day, like if you're messaging me saying hey, I'm shooting, so at MCM the car park underneath is really popular, the trees out front near the hotel is another popular one. There's normally some various areas inside. But if you message me saying, hey, I'm shooting with someone right now at this location, are you free? I can then try and head over, or I could try and work something out that's appropriate to the timings of what I'm doing and what you're doing, and we could try and make it work. But that is just me. I know other photographers who will take bookings and have sort of scheduled 30-minute sections, which works really well for them. I just know it doesn't for me, and I'm not the norm. I know a lot more people who will get set bookings. In the UK, it is not a normal thing to pay to have photos done at a cosplay event. If you want me to do photos for you outside of a con, then that is normally a paid interaction and that's completely separate. But if you want to have your photos taken at the con, it's completely free. Always speak to the photographer about what you're going to get. So in the photography world we call that deliverables. What are you going to be delivered, or what am I delivering? My standard is 5 to 10 images. Normally it's a bit more, but if I say 5 to 10 images, that gives me some leeway. I try and get them out within a week. there's a long-running joke that I will sit down at the bar after con with friends and I'm there editing photos. And more than once people have uploaded photos I shot of them that day from the bar that evening. It's really funny. I find it funny. But we don't expect payment at cons. I know in the US it's a big thing that you do pay your photographers. So whenever I've had US cosplayers come over here, they've been really shocked that I'm not asking them for money. And then on the flip side, I've had US photographers who've come over here and we've been chatting in the evening and they're like, oh, people don't want to pay me. And I'm like, yeah, not a thing here. And they've sort of flown over thinking they're going to make money at the event. So it's better the other way round. So it's quite good when we fly over to the US, because even when I don't ask for money and I don't want money, people will tip me. And it's just like, no, you don't have to give me anything. They're like, no, here you go, you've taken your time. And I'm like, for goodness sake. So if you're going from like UK and Europe to the US, it can be really surprisingly profitable. Don't expect it if you're coming over to the UK. Not going to help you. So yeah, don't expect to pay for photos to be done. And I personally wouldn't work with a UK photographer if they're asking for money. It's just not in the spirit of what we do over here. And there are so many photographers who will do it for free. So don't bother. Speak about how many images you're going to get and make sure you have that expectation. I am in a lot of like groups with friends who are cosplayers, photographers, etc. And every Comic Con there will be one person in the group who will say, hi guys, this person only sent me one image, we shot for an hour, is that right? To which many of us then reply, did you talk to them about how much you're going to get or what you're going to get? And usually the answer is no. So always work out what you're expecting to get with them and make sure that the time you're going to put in is worth what you're going to get out. So if you're going to spend an hour with them and only get one photo, could you have maybe worked with 2 photographers for half an hour and have got like 5 photos from each of them? Could that have happened? So have that discussion beforehand. Timescales. I know photographers who will take up to 8 months to get your photos back. This is one of the differences again between the UK and the US. Because you're getting something for free, it can be a little bit of a, you don't want to bother them, you don't want to be chasing, they might have shot lots of people that day, whereas in the US, because you're paying for a service, you feel like you're going to get it quicker. And you don't feel as bad asking like, hey, where are my photos? Again, this is something to discuss with them, like, hey, roughly how long do you think? Like a month to 2 months is probably the average. I try and get everything out by a month. I will always forget someone. There will always be someone who messages me and says, hey, did we do photos? And I go, yes, I'm really sorry, I'm useless and I forgot your username or whatever. So if that's ever been me, I do apologise. Unfortunately it happens. But I always have the photos, so I will get them to you. You just need to give me an email address. That brings us on to getting the photos. So I am very much a Google Drive person. It's what I use for business and everything. I have a folder on there which is cosplay. Then I will have your username, and that will be shared with you and you only. And then final images are put in there. I also use Lightroom, so I could share the Lightroom gallery with you so you can see the raw images and hassle on editing them. And you can then note anything on them and put any like info or questions or like, can you do this there? So that is something that a lot of people like having the ability to do, and the notation is really good. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at for this. So we'll stop there.